hate and all the things they did to us, our people are still the majority, but they want us to think we're the minority. And that's really what the stigma take. That's what the stigma really is. You feel me? It's the mind over matter. You feel me? That's why they want us to be the minority, because they know our minds are stronger than the majority, which we already are though. That's what we always knew. As to why she said, like, if a black woman was to produce with anybody, or even so a black man at sometimes, you will create what? You feel me? A predominantly genetically carbon skin individual. You feel me? So like that's what you gotta understand. Like we gotta bring that pool to come back and collectively understand. What was what you call it saying earlier? Ether. He said we gotta start G checking people. Like really ask people like, do you know your genealogical makeup? Like XXX and Tashion used to say like, what's the time of your birthplace, where you were born? You feel me? Like what's your blood? What's your like? Why do you hate? Why do you love? Like these are questions that we need to ask people, because that would necessarily have us understand why people, or what people honestly would, what side would they really choose if they were here to stay on Earth. If you were here to be for nature, or are you here to cause bio action? And that's what we need to differentiate in this time right now. We just need to separate the fake from the weeds. Like if you necessarily want to continue to grow, then grow in your own infinite manner. But if you just want to take away from the crop, then necessarily we can't let you obtain any fruit. We gotta shun people that necessarily don't want to learn, so they can just see what life is supposed to be like. And that's what I think we need to continue to do, is shed light on what we honestly understand, and feel me, understand it for ourselves, and then overall overstand it for everyone else. Show people around you, the kids, you feel me, the women, your family, the people that you are orientated to, learn what you know honestly, so then you can honestly protrude to them what they need to see. So then they go around people like, okay, I know what this need to be, da 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 da. Because like right now we are in the end game. Like that's why they drop these movies. Like they drop the movie and whatnot, because they telling us like we headed to a time where we need to have a conscious, calm, collective mind, and be able to talk to one another without making it so much race and color and so much confrontation amongst one another. Because at the end of the day, like we're always gonna come back to the pool of collectivity, connectiveness. You're gonna want to be analytical. You feel me? You're gonna. That's why I say like animals. They're not. They're necessary to the connection of compassion. Think about it. If you, like they say, you gotta face the beast. If you can literally be friends with an animal, that shows that you can literally, you're calm in your own natural habitat. Because animals have to literally go. What do humans live in? We live in houses every day, but yet we still go into the world and find ways to be outright mad. You feel me? Out of touch with life and whatnot. But animals got to go through rain, snow, all that stuff, and they still have to, you feel me, make a family, love one another. They do stuff based upon how even humans think. They still do stuff based upon family orientation. So like the number 6 is depicting the goddess or the woman, because the 6 coming down and then the circle being the stomach, the womb. So like knowing that animals have even animals show the greatest understanding of what family truly is. They have packs, they have covens, they have all that stuff. Humans lack that in this day and age due to the fact of they disregard the black goddess. They disregard why connectivity is all. So other than that though, like them movies gonna help anybody though. So like just go and watch those for real. Them shows they gonna help you understand how the trickle effect really happened. And you gonna realize like, okay, it's not to argue, but it is to reconcile. People need to start to reconcile with the idea they have, but we can't necessarily have what we want. You just need to know you just need to know that like Ether was saying, in this day and age, if a person doesn't want to know anything, then like discard them from what they talking about. Like she's saying, if it's just like how they got prokaryotic, eukaryotic, why do they have pro-life, pro-choice in this day and age? They want the woman to feel as if she doesn't have a choice. When a woman always knew what the choice was, it was to create life. It was to create all. That's why I say when it comes from a feminine knowledge, you understand that everything necessarily was created for a reason. So like I wouldn't disregard why white people are here, but you have to understand what they are doing now. So it's like we know what they've done, but let's not understand. There's nothing new under the sun. So you feel me? We gotta take that on. We gotta be cool. She said, which woman though? Like I said, feminine nature, I wouldn't say genderality is all. If you look at the 7 laws of life, genderality necessarily is all. So it's like, when feminine leads to masculine, feminine, 9 leads to masculine, which is the number 9 number. And that's why people work 9 to 5 today. 9 is for the, whatchamacallit, that's for the, you feel me, masculine number, that's the highest level of consciousness. And then 5, that solar energy, the sun. So they want you to use your solar energy to get up and work for the divinity of what they got going on today. And we got to regress from that action and progress our own ways of thinking now. We got to show ourselves and the people around us what we honestly want in this world. You feel me? Bring out them crystals. Bring out that knowledge that you know. You feel me? Don't go to college because you don't need that fake degree. Degrees are just rays of light. You feel me? Like how we get downloads from the sun. It's our degree of understanding. We know what's real. We know what matters. You feel me? Because if things matter today, then things would be going fine. But we know things need to be refined. So we just gotta find ourselves. You feel me? And that's all I'm saying. But them three movies alone, they will show y'all the way. But the Sun Laws, if you see the other two, you're gonna understand what I'm truly saying as well. All everything is like connected in such a sense to where it's a loop factor. That's why DNA is a caducery. It's the factor of spiral energy needing to happen. I can't say like we don't need to continue to argue about are white people real, da da this, da da that, because it's gonna lead to only what more debate, jeopardy. It's gonna put things in such a way to where you're gonna
There's
only want
no
to argue.
debate. Yeah, I do want to get to the next person, but there's no debate when it comes to are white people real. It's not like we say. It's not just about so-called white people. It's about everybody outside of so-called black people.
Wanted to add to that.
It was just
You
debating
were
religion
saying
to
how we like.
debate
I don't think it's that deep. A debate is just a debate. I don't
No
think it's
cap.
that deep.
Moral of the story
Well,
is
I
too,
wanted
I
to.
believe y'all having compassion. Well, not y'all, but common. I think you kind of want to have compassion for these other races of people, bro. And we don't got that over here, bro. It's our time to shine. Feel me? So whatever purpose you think they had, whatever, it don't matter. Their purpose is to be exposed right now. And we have
For
compassion
real.
only
Bro.
for our species. And that's it.
Cast out the darkness. Bro.
Nah, that ain't darkness, nothing. That's just fact, bro.
Yeah, we know what's really going on, but that's why I wanted to say that we are not the same. We talking about mothers and stuff. Black mothers are not the same as other races' mothers. That's just we know that's not the same. So you can't try to make us seem like we all one at the end of the day because it's just not the case. It's objective truth is it's not. Um, so we are very aware of what they've done in history and what they're still doing to this day. It will be different if they stopped, but they haven't stopped and they don't plan on stopping. They're still doing the same stuff they've been doing. It's not like a change. What they've
And
done
our
is
and our
bad.
melanated skin, to add to what he's saying, our melanated skin scientifically.
Go ahead and finish All Star. Maximum, I'm gonna get to you right after you.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah, he could go ahead. I was just saying, yeah. So what they're still doing this stuff. It will be different if they completely stop. If they try to change. If they try to fix it. Look who they got in office, for example. They look what they still doing. Why are you making it seem like they just stopped doing this stuff? Like they just completely, they're trying to change or be better. They're not. They're still spreading evil, and they're not planning on stopping. Clearly,
That's true.
so it's not, and it's also not a debate. It's not a debate because it's truthful. The people that come up here, they can't really defend what they say at all. That's why I try to keep it really simple. If we're the same, you got to always see what they can see, right? Because they can't get into deeper thought. They cannot critically think. So they know melanin exists. They know them getting sunburned exists. So that's how you got to keep it with them. If we are the same, where's your melanin? Okay, you're quote unquote melanin. You got quote unquote melanin. Why are you getting burned from the sun then and we aren't? That's how you got to keep it then. If we are the same, make that make sense. They can't make it make sense because they know they get blisters. They got to go to the hospital. They get third-degree burns from the sun. We aren't the same. We aren't. So that's how you got to make it real simple for them so they get it. Then we can expand on top of that. But how you really dog walk them in these conversations by keeping it simple, and then we can slowly expand to where they completely get lost because they're not ready to have these conversations at all. They cannot accept the fact that they get blisters from the sun. They cannot accept the fact that they don't have real melanin.
Gotta reconcile.
So that's how you got to keep it. And
Facts.
I'm gonna land my plane there.
Well, definitely. Go ahead, Maximum.
Up to y'all. I'm about to go ahead and
Maximum.
hop out of here. I got some chores to do. I'll see y'all. All right, man.
Well, that gratitude and abundance. Yo, Maximum.
Yeah,
I like to
yeah.
say
As
something.
far as
So let's go on the topic though. Where did these people come from? Let's start there.
I believe because they hold that Neanderthal gene, and they hold like all these different aquatic water records. They talk to different species of the aquatic realm in the ocean. They're real close with these animals. The dolphins even protect them from sharks. There's scientific evidence proving this. I'm not just talking some jabber. But I mean, me personally, because their eyes, I mean, even the blue eyes, right? Like the whole sunlight thing, and them not being able to look in the snow for a long time because they'll go snow blind. That's why they wear sunglasses when they're snowboarding, because the sun will reflect uh, off that snow, and then it'll hurt the iris of their eyes, even burn it. Look it up; it's a true thing. Snow blind. We don't go snow blind because that darkness in our eyes protects us, but nevertheless. Um, just a lot of different things. I mean, if you look at the Inuit people, they used to call them Eskimo, but I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. But the
Hold
Inuit
on.
people,
Now I was asking where did they come from?
well, that's what I was kind of getting to. I mean, if you look at those people, they haven't changed, right? They say they come from the snow and the mountains, so I don't believe that either. But I do believe, since they hold all these water records, they get this one disease with where their fingers get webbed together. I believe they're like part water, like Atlantean, because it was real close to. If you look up like the location of the Atlantis or whatever, it was next to Africa. And so if everybody kind of came from Africa, how I break it down is I think they part water, their mama's out the water maybe, and their dad is from the land, and Neanderthal dude that was a little bit lighter up in northern Africa. You know what I mean? But that's just my opinion. I think they part water and part here.
So you think that a Neanderthal mated with something in the water and created so-called white people, or not even
Like
just
some
so-called white
kind of
people, or everybody, or let's
yeah,
just
because
say
I
the
mean,
white
even if
man,
you
the
do the
Asian man, and the
science, like
Aryan
on
man.
like the albino fish and like the different species of fish that live real down deep in the water and they have these blue eyes, and I mean, it just I don't know, man, it just all makes sense, man. And then when you look at some and listen to some of these other scientists talk about it, it just all makes sense, man. Like they branched off of that somehow, some way or another. That's what I feel because
So, no, I'm
why did
asking
we?
you, is that how you think they came into existence?
Yes, that's how I think they
All right,
came into
so
existence.
let's stop there. So
Okay.
my thing is species cannot mix with species. So how did a Neanderthal mate with anything inside of the ocean when they have two different processes? Well, depending on what
Well, we don't
animals
know
are
that.
out
We
in
don't know that,
the
right?
ocean.
Like I'm just guessing.
What
I'm not saying this is
you
for
don't
sure.
know
This
that.
is just like a
I,
theory of mine. I mean, we don't know what reproductive organs the Atlanteans had. You know what I'm saying?
who
Like that's not for
you're
sure
talking
thing. Like
about the Atlanteans? I'm talking about people we could see today. How did they get here?
yeah, I mean that's just my opinion, man. I don't know. I don't know. That's I
So
don't. Other than
okay,
that, I don't
okay.
know.
No, we
The
ain't
other
gotta say
opinion
nothing.
is they
Hold
fell
on,
out
hold
the
on, brother.
sky.
Hold on, brother. We ain't gotta say more. You say you don't know. So my question to you now is: if you do not know, why did you come up here?
What, man? I thought we was having a discussion.
I have a topic up there, and if you
Oh man,
don't
you
know, then
bullshit,
you
man.
can't
You a
contribute
hating
to the
ass nigga.
topic.
Fuck you, man. Suck my dick.
Oh, so
If you don't know,
Yeah.
That boy
no, that's
eating
gonna give me
chicken.
wind, bro.
That boy
That's
eating chicken
wind.
and liquor, boy.
You can't be saying that. That's how I got banned the last time.
Sorry, guys. I like
Yeah.
that shit.
that's
Was
enough
that
warning.
shit? Like he said it out of nowhere, so that shit caught me by surprise. That shit. That shit was
Goes
wild.
crazy off the roast.
That's what happens when you eat animals right there. You think just like when you
He
react.
thought that he could just come up here and just, like roll up and like chief to like some bullshit and talk about mysticism. And we don't do that shit here, bro. There's facts that can prove where these niggas came from. Y'all just aren't exploring the facts. So niggas who rather sit down and watch a movie, I'm not knocking it. But if you don't know who's who and what's what in that movie, you're gonna be confused and still subscribe to the wrong shit. I would advise for my people, sit down, read a book. What Makes Black People Black is 60 pages. The first book to Divine Carbon is 47 pages with lots of pictures, and it gets straight into it. What is neuromelanin? And it has a whole page filled with a breakdown on the biochemical substance that you're composed of, which is what's functioning all of your cells. We don't do semantics here. Y'all come here wanting to do that, and that's not what the host, that's not what I do, that's not what Denzel do. That's not what casino. No, none of us in here do that. Y'all do that.
Okay, I have a question because
I would hold
I'm
on.
here because
I
I'm
want to get
curious. I'm
I want to get to the next guest, and I'm gonna circle back to you, bro. I got you. Go ahead, Miss Virgo.
Hi y'all. How y'all doing? I was coming up to say, okay, I'm 45, right? And I remember when I was a kid, having a Cabbage Patch doll, right? Do y'all not know that the Cabbage Patch Kids was a real actual thing, and they are the ones that is thriving now today? Some of the ones that was actually created. Have y'all seen that?
Uh, I haven't seen anything on the Cabbage Patch Kids, but I do understand that we have a whole group of people, or yeah, a whole group of people that aren't supposed to be on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that.
Yeah, cause I know when I was coming up, they was I thought it was fake until recently I seen an a very very old clip um of them actually creating them and actually saying that they are some of the white tea people now today.
Okay, so
And I was in shock when I seen that.
right, so I want to ask you, where did they come from? Like everybody outside of so-called black people.
I I thought they came from the Anunnaki.
Okay, what does Anunnaki mean?
I couldn't even tell you. I really could not tell you because I'm just not getting into all of this to these recent years because I
Okay.
had never heard of them ever, like in life, even coming up.
All right, so
You done any research about the Anunnaki? Like, how did you get to that point? Like, what made you say that?
Um, actually, I was on YouTube one day and I came across this guy. What his name? Billy Carson, and he was speaking about them, and that's how I came across it.
So you
Because
just
I actually had never knew about them.
So here's my thing, right? When y'all see stuff like that, what in your brain makes you not want to go research deeper or pick up a book? So you would just go off of watching somebody on YouTube stating something about your genetics or anybody else's genetics, and you don't want to dig deeper into that?
No, I actually do, but I don't know actually where to go at this big old age that I am at 45 because I have never heard of a lot of these things, to be honest. So I do want to research it, but I don't know like where to get the books from.
Got you.
Cause I'm big on like doing research, but that's where I came across it when it came to the Anunnaki.
so, sister, with much love. When we're like, cause the host, the
Wait, I
topic,
can't hear you.
the host topic in here is where did they come from? We're asking people where did they come from, but if you don't really know, then it's hard. It's gonna be hard for you to have a conversation if you're just going based off of what someone else is saying. So you see what I'm saying? Like we've actually explained how they are here through electrical fusion.
Talking about the white tea people or just a lot of people in general?
No, that everybody outside of our species. When
Oh,
we're talking
okay.
about their when we're talking about we're talking about everybody outside of our species.
Just like the host has on the screen, he has a so-called white tea man, an Arab man, and an Asian man. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Uh-huh.
The Mexicans and the Cubanos, Italians all came from them mixing DNA with us.
Right, but I want to address the comments. There's a you melanated woman in the chat saying that she shares biological identification to the planet because she has so-called African in her. So I asked her what her mother was, and she said her mother was mixed. I asked what that mother, who her mother was, and I didn't get an answer. I just want to state for the room that your mother genetics rule 100% of the time. That is a genetic and a scientific fact. All right. And she was in here 3-4 hours ago when I put the source on the screen. So we need to know your mother. We need to know if you stem from the Totipidem stem cell in order to share a biological identification with this planet.
Right.
Because right now, based off of that profile picture, I see sulfur and ammonia. I see a eukaryotic hybrid.
And well, Miss Virgo, it seems like you don't fully understand the topic, so I do want to move on to the next person
Okay.
respectfully.
Real
So
quick too, Miss Virgo. I suggest you come back and visit us, right? But get on Amazon and get a biology book for dummies, a genetics book for dummies, microbiology for dummies, and start there. And it's a couple other books too, but yeah, you got to do some reading to really know what's going on.
I sure will. Thank you guys.
no problem. Abundance and gratitude.
See you too.
Go ahead, Beyond Sapien.
Well, I wanted to find out if you guys also take into consideration religious writings, like for example the Book of Enoch. The reason I ask is because in the Book of Enoch it states that when Noah was born, his father ran to his grandfather and said that I have a strange child that does not look human. He stated to his dad that the child is white. And that's in Enoch, the Book of Enoch 1, and it's verse 106 to like 108. But of course the Book of Enoch been taken out of the Bible. So
Okay. Any way that you can explain where they came from, I just want to hear your thoughts on it.
To me, it sounds like from a different part of the galaxy, to be honest. That's my opinion. It sounds as if they're from a different part of the galaxy. They're more recent than we are. That's why their population is smaller. They still need time to catch up as far as population goes. Nothing that's natural to the Earth. I don't see how you could get skin cancer because the sun is what gives life.
Right.
So most life.
Let's stop right there real quick. You said they came from a different part of the galaxy, right?
I believe so, yeah.
So would that involve them going outside of this outside the veil and being exposed to the sun?
Well, they could be further from the sun. I believe. Because I can't see. Most life come from the tropics and then spread either southward or northward, along the equator. So how will you get skin cancer? You know what I'm saying? If you evolve on the Earth, naturally evolve on the Earth, how come you get skin cancer? Certain things don't add up,
Right. And then we also got to look at the animals that they're spliced with, though.
Spliced with?
Yeah, they have different types of animal genetics inside of them.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that because one thing that's also mentioned in scriptures or religious writing is abomination, where they were experimenting with other creatures on earth. And it's written that's one of the reasons for the flood, because of this mixing and this hybridization that was taking place. Even in the Bible itself, it says that the sons of God came down and slept with the daughters of men. So right there, you're going to have a hybrid, because you have the Adamite, which is of Adam, being mixed with the, people of a different race or a different type.
Hey, Beyond Sapien. Just a short answer and like maybe like a sentence or less. A sentence or less. Where did everybody outside of the so-called black race come from?
I believe from a different part of the galaxy. Not sure of where, but that would be my short answer.
How
Yeah.
how can they come from a different part of the galaxy?
I just which galaxy? Different. Which galaxy are we in?
Well, we're in the Milky Way, right?
I don't know. You said that they from a different. I'm asking you.
I don't know for sure, but people talk of Sirius, people talk of Pleiades. There's all these talks of different, I guess, planetary systems. So it could be one of those, but they're definitely not like the rest of us. So
Okay.
that's my thought.
And I respect that. And a lot of people say that they came from a different star system or a different planet or a different part of the galaxy. But if you study the cosmos, if you study
Hmm.
galaxies, if you study stars, every
Right.
planet turns into a star, right? If you understand space and the cosmos, right? And if you understand you on a quantum level as a so-called black man or woman, I don't know if you are, but I'm speaking to those people.
I'm listening.
What you do on a quantum level, what your cells do is what's happening in the cosmos right now. So this is why I say study the cosmos, because if you are having a hard time grasping genetics, but if you understand space,
Hmm.
this is still a part. It's just quantum science. It's just a different branch. Genetics, cells is quantum. It's a different part of the quantums. So that's why I'm saying when the host, abundance and gratitude to the host, because he cooking with this topic, because there is an explanation. If you have explored science and if you have explored history, if you have explored everything that you could possibly explore, just like a scientist, just like historians are doing, the only conclusion that you can come to is electrical fusion. There is no star or planet that they share biological identification with, again, as a sulfur and an ammonia-based being. See, as so-called black people, we're carbon, hydrogen, helium, oxygen, and nitrogen. We biologically identify with the entire cosmos and this entire planet. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So again, where do they come from? Because we say that we found them in the caves, but when we look at their genetics, they still don't share biological identification to the caves. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
we got to go deeper before we just come up to panels. We got to figure this out, because right now we're teaching our children indoctrination. Right now we're teaching our children that we're all the same. Right now there's animals that's teaching your children. Ether ran a live, what was it, yesterday or the day before? And somebody that we know, right, was on an alias page trying to just disagree with us and just trying to cause uproar. She tells the sister on the panel, oh, let her go to a all-female shelter where they're trafficking more of our women? Like, y'all not really thinking here. Child Protective Services, but 8 million children go missing. These niggas not protecting shit.
And right out their hands, 70,000 go missing. Right out their hands.
Like, what you mean?
Like what?
So why are you just trying to disagree with me and hate on me so bad that you would tell another sister and walk them right into their hands, y'all? We not studying. We're chemically imbalanced and we can't see the truth because you want to hate on somebody else, because you still eating meat while telling somebody else. How could you tell anybody what to do when you are chemically imbalanced and you're not even working to become more in tune with you? See, somebody asked me in the chat, you stop teaching spirituality? Nigga, I'm teaching you to know thyself, down from micro to macrocosm. Y'all think that this is just supposed to be mystical shit. I don't move like that. There's a scientific explanation for everything that you think is ethereal. Fuck you mean? Quantum science explains that. And if you're not exploring that, if you're not exploring the cosmos, if you're not exploring genetics, when the base word of genetics is gene, and gene means origin, then how can you tell me where you come from? How can you tell me where anybody comes from? You're not even studying origin. Come on, y'all. And then y'all get upset with me. Oh, yeah, that's because people think that movies are just, but that's not a movie about genetics, which is the conversation that we're having, babe. Y'all come in here with feelings, and then you want people to validate your feelings with a source or a particular narrative or something. We don't do that in here. Facts over fucking feelings. What's your biological identification? You yapping in the comments, but what's your biological ID? You have African in you is telling me nothing about your origin. Do you come from a petri dish or Earth's evolution? Which one? It's a simple, you know what I'm saying? Simple answer.
Beyond Sapien, you got anything to say?
No, at this point I'm listening. I already dropped my opinion, and that's it. I'm off. I would say.
Oh yeah, I wanted to add something. I'm about to drop, but I just wanted to say that
Yeah.
so
I'll
guys,
drop.
no, I'm about to drop. I was about to say that when it comes to melanin and stuff, guys, remember pheomelanin is sulfur based. Y'all need a source so bad. Y'all could go research this right now. It's not hard. Y'all could use anything to research it by anything, and they all gonna say the same thing because this is basic biology, basic objective facts. And mind you, when you go look this stuff up, they will try to push a narrative to a certain degree, but to a certain degree, they can't push a narrative. So pheomelanin is sulfur based. Now, it's very different from the melanin that we have. Y'all can't stay in the sun for a reason. We are not the same. If we are the same, why do y'all run from the sun that gives life? Y'all know it gives life. Why are y'all running from that? Make that make sense. So at the end of the day, it's about what we are, what we know, and what y'all don't know. But what y'all do know is the very basics. Y'all know the very simple basics. Y'all don't want to critically think. Y'all don't want to think about these things, right? Y'all need to remember we are not the same. But why have y'all done what y'all do? Why do we procreate and y'all have to try to eliminate? We know why. Y'all don't know why. So when y'all ready to have these conversations and y'all could join up, but y'all not ready for these conversations. That's why y'all keyboard warriors, I asked y'all to join up and then y'all stop talking and run away. I asked 4 different people to join up and y'all keep running. If you really believe you are right, why can't you stand on business and join up? Why do y'all have to get emotional and get loud and try to over talk and not wait your turn? It's because y'all don't know what y'all are talking about. Y'all not ready to have these conversations. So it is what it is. Y'all just not ready for it. Oh, well, look, Ricky Clark is sending a request, so I'll wait for that, and then I'll drop after I have a conversation with you.
I want to get to this guest because I don't think he spoke yet.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's reactions. It's just like a chemical reaction and thing of that sort. Can you all hear me by any chance? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
All right.
Where did these people come from?
Where do these people come from? That is a very good question, man. And that's the reason why I joined, because I had a question for your question. I understand you said petri dish, and I heard, genetically from the earth, and that comes to me. And this ain't no theories like, oh, I believe this, that, or I read this and that. Or I was on the dark side of YouTube. This is more so on a deeper complex. Like, I want to ask this. This is more so a question for all of you, actually, if you want to answer. All right. So I know you were speaking of like the snow. My friend shared this. He's like, I know you'd be interested. Sorry. So he said something along. One of the speakers said something along the lines of, not even being a part of the earth, but not even fully. I can't remember how you said it. If I could say how you said it, I was driving when you said it. Sorry.
I do want to. I just want to go back to the.
From the snow
Hold
blindness.
on. I want to go back to. I want to go back to the original topic. Where did they come from? Can you answer that?
Where did they come from?
Yeah.
So realistically, man, like as far as like doing my research, it seems like it's 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 made an experiment, man. It seems like it's an experimental thing. It seems like it's more so on a genetic level, on an experimental thing, and because like things can be made, things can be spliced, and not even just labs, man. It's just like the shit that's done. It's on an experimental level. I can never tell you where they're from. Just like we can never really say. We just have what we have, and
I mean,
that's like
there are some scientists out there that can explain how they came into existence.
well, they can theorize how they came into existence. You know what I'm saying? Like that's yeah, I understand that. Yes, most definitely. They can theorize how they came into existence. Yes,
No,
that's
it's
very
also
intelligent.
hey,
Reactions.
you gotcha. You know what else is also a theory? The Big Bang Theory. And you want to know how I know it's not theoretical and why it's been debunked as a theory? Because that's what takes place in a so-called black woman in the gestation period. So again, a lot of things that are deemed as theoretical are not theoretical because there's too much proof in the proof. Like, here's the thing about science theories versus their normal theories. What claim is that scientific theory making? And what proof and what was actually tested? See, that's the thing. What theory was tested in that? Because when we look at evolution, they say, "Oh, that is that has science. That has scientific fact." Of course, it does. But the claim itself, how we went from haploids to diploids, was it proven? No.
Yes,
This
no,
is
of
the
course. I
reason
don't
why it
believe in
is
the whole
theoretical.
Darwinism. No,
So
I
that's
don't
what
believe
I'm
in that.
saying. What the
No.
host is saying, and I'm just backing him up, is his mind. What he's saying is just because it is deemed as a theory, what made it a theory though? What was actually tested? And then what are the facts? This is stuff you can only gain from doing your own research.
Well,
That's what I'm
I
saying.
want to ask
And
this.
then you can then present the facts. That's all I'm saying.
I want to ask this. And like, with that being said, before we get there, like I appreciate the message. Like I'm a man of science myself. I love it. But as far as that, it's a better way to say the message than it's kind of belittling. You know what I'm saying? And I respect what you're doing here. Like it's great. Like my friend sent this to me. So I was just like, yo, this is dope.
Wait,
But
so
what
I'm
but
belittling people?
no, I'm not saying you're belittling me. I'm just saying as far
No,
as the
not
message,
you.
when some
Are
people
you
come up
saying
here
I'm
with pure
belittling?
curiosity or
Yeah, you
just
did.
pure, well, I'm just let me just get a moment and I'll leave if you like. It's fine. It's just I appreciate the message. I love the message. Like what you're promoting is great. I love it. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff I talk about. You all are on a more higher level when it comes to it because of course your research was probably more extensive than mine, and I respect that. It's just like I'll say when I came in, like I almost left, but because I appreciate the message and I respect what you had to say, I didn't because I wanted to hear you out some more. There was a fella up here, talking about his theories. He didn't know much and whatever. And the first thing you asked him is, "Why'd you come up here?" Like that kind of that's
Listen,
like
the
with that.
reason I asked because he said he didn't know, he didn't have anything to contribute to the conversation. He was just coming up here. If you want to, I mean, we
But
already stated where they came from multiple times.
yes, but
So all
you
you gotta
as
do is sit in the
but you
comments
are
and listen. You feel what I'm saying? Like I'm not belittling anybody. It's just if you don't have an understanding, then there's no point of
Just
requesting up.
just saying electronic fusion doesn't answer anything.
And you're saying it's not even electronic fusion, bro. You're not
Yeah.
even.
The fuck? Let the host speak, y'all, and stop over talking the host and the moderators and everyone else. Let everybody speak their frequency. You can't have a conversation if you're both talking at the same time. Let the host finish.
Exactly, and Ricky, we've tried to explain everything to you multiple times, and you're just not understanding. So I feel like you would have to go do the research yourself. We can give you key
They couldn't
points. You feel what
explain
I'm
nothing
saying?
though. Nobody understanding here. That's why they
Yeah.
still confused.
I know why? Because they
You just
haven't done
looking
the
like
research.
knowledgeable and ain't saying.
Ricky, you came to the live though, asking me questions. The fuck? The question, the
You
topic,
trolling. You're not talking about shit.
Ricky. We told you electrical fusion, and that's it. We also said introgression.
I ain't trying to
You
hear that
asked
shit, man.
me,
Whatever, man.
bro.
That's
You asked me for that, and I'm gonna just get you out of here because you're not gonna overtalk me. You're a grown ass man asking people to feed your brain information, fire your synapses for you, and tell you how to fucking think as a grown man. Don't fucking disrespect me, bro, because I literally gave you the blueprint. It is 6:41. I gave it to you at 3 p.m. when you first came in, bro. You didn't seen us have this conversation 6, 7, 8 times with niggas. And then you came up here and said electrical, whatever the fuck you said. You just didn't hear. So sounds like, where did you get that answer from? Because you came to the live without knowing, and now you have something. So maybe you should have wrote it down. But that doesn't mean that I should have to keep repeating myself because you haven't done the research. Nobody is in here teaching a grown man or woman any fucking thing. He has a topic on the screen, y'all. Where did they come from? That's for the people that know and have done the research. If you haven't, go do the research. This is not a fucking class, bro. This is not a fucking, you can get a TikTok degree at the end of the live, bro. This is just a discussion about with people who know. If you don't know, that's why niggas sit in the comments. Much respect, bro. Just out of respect. You came to the live asking questions, bro. And now you mad at me for not giving you the answer again? I typed it in the comments for you. And then you said, oh yeah, there it is. And then you said, Harry, oh, there it is, hypertrichosis. Oh, and then you, like, bro, you came and you repeated it. Cognitive dissonance. Meat eaters will never outthink sun eaters, bro. Period.
Oh, they will not.
In fact, reaction. Do you got anything to say? Your reaction. All right.
Like Scott was saying, man, if y'all new here and you read that topic, just sit in the comments if you don't know, so you can learn. You feel what I'm saying? So you can grasp something and do your research. Feel what I'm saying? Because we like, how can I say this without sounding ignorant? We really do this. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we really do this. So what y'all thinking is ignorant or whatever, it's because we warriors. We really trying to get a mission and a point across. You feel what I'm saying? We stepping out here for real. So if you in the way, it's going to seem like we being aggressive or stuff like that. But we don't have time to be soft for none of that shit, bro. So if you don't know what you're talking about, just sit and learn. If you do, come up and share your vibe and get off the meat, because this is not something that you can be emotionally tied to in your feelings. And if you are out of whack chemically, you're going to feel like we're attacking you or something, and we're not. We just stern on what we talking about. And that's simple and plain. And we don't have time for games. A lot of people play games, y'all. Thank you.
That's definitely abundance, brother. Dudama, I know you came up here early. You didn't get a chance to speak. Go ahead, bro.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, sorry I had to drop to do something. Yeah, but Dodama, I'm 21 plus. He, him, they, them. Yeah. Let's see. So I kind of think I was always a part of the notion of thinking that they branched off of like some type of mutation from like Neanderthals, because they have so much Neanderthal like caveman DNA, and we don't have that. I haven't dove too much into the research on that, on like some of the stuff that you guys are talking about, but it was actually really interesting, and definitely something that I do really want to look into as well. But I do agree with a lot of you guys when it comes down to like energy and us kind of like really absorbing the sun, because I think a lot of our people really have to understand that, because there's so many of us that's not really understanding that. So I do like that you guys kind of like really push that and promote that, because and sometimes people don't believe it, but there's literally research out there, you know, a lot of .orgs, edus, and .govs as well, with them folk, you know, the YT people using our melanin and planning to use our melanin for electronic circuits, because melanin is more conductive and more can basically control the flow of electricity, you know. And it's when people really understand that, then you will really know that you're an energy being. Like, you have to get sun. You have to, like, I don't listen to anything from YT people anymore. You know, like, I go in the sun as much as I can. I even look into the sun, you know, and get as much absorption of the sun, you know, because all the stuff that they try to tell us leads us to so much like malnourishment, so I just wanted to come up and just really say that I do agree with a lot of what you guys are saying. I'm not too knowledgeable of like where they come from. I was always along the line of them being branched off from a mutation of literal cavemen, Neanderthals. But yeah, thank you for letting me up.
All right, Abundance. Go ahead. I rebuke. Yo, I rebuke MAGA or MAGA. All right, before you even get to speaking, Ricky, before you even get to speaking, bro, you already didn't disrespect me.
Respect me first.
Nah, we didn't disrespect you. Like I said, you already disrespected me, so let's just take it back. Where did they come from? If you do not know, then there's no point of being up here. I'm gonna just go ahead and say that.
And if he don't answer, please let me debate him quickly.
That's what we asking y'all. That's the question we asking y'all. Y'all the scholars. Where did they come from? We asking y'all.
You too hostile, bro. I ain't gonna lie. You too hostile.
Leave the meat alone, bro.
You
They came from the caves, bro. They came from the caves of some reptilians, bro. That's what you want to hear, bro? That's what you want to hear? That's where they came from, bro.
Scientific hypothesis. I want to hear your facts.
Get off the meat.
Ricky.
That's the scientific hypothesis. Stop eating
Ricky.
animals.
I want to, Ricky. I'm gonna just hold on, Ricky. Hold on, Ricky. Hold on. I'm gonna give you 2 key points, and you go do your homework on that, okay? Eukaryotic cells and prokaryotic cells.
Then you do the homework for us.
Listen, Ricky, listen. Eukaryotic cells and prokaryotic cells. Go do your homework so you can know. All right, that's all I'm gonna say to you. You keep coming up here trying to argue with me. Why are you trying to demand knowledge from me? What? We the same reflection. So you mean to tell me that I got to give you my knowledge? Like that don't even make any sense.
What do you want to get a knowledge? I mean, you asking the questions on the panel. Ain't that what we here for?
Yeah.
We're here for projecting man.
Teaching or you just
the host has a question on the screen and you a grown man and came up here and said, I don't know, and you still think that we're supposed to teach you as a grown ass man. You want to be taught by random fucking people on a TikTok app. Like, ask yourself why you think this shit is cool, why you think you need to be taught on a fucking fake ass app about your own fucking genetics. Did you hear him say that it was no genetic differences between you and him? The only difference between y'all is discipline, niggas. So go do the fucking research. Right now you're on a panel crying, bro.
And you're one of the elders that didn't contribute to the next generation. You didn't contribute.
Who are you?
You didn't contribute to know thyself enough to pass that memory down to the next generation.
Facts,
just
bro.
like all organic life in nature passes down.
You the oldest person on this panel.
Clowns bitching off
to teach
niggas, man.
you, bro. You supposed to been have passed this down to us.
Man, you ain't
Albert
gonna pass
Blair
it.
and Layla Africa was talking about this shit in the 70s and in the fucking 80s.
Fuck up, short.
Francis Cress Welsing was talking about this shit way before I was born.
Blah, blah,
So what's
blah.
your fucking excuse as a grown man? I know I gotta be 20 years
Scientist.
younger than you,
What
bro.
degree you
I
got?
know.
Nothing.
Why do I need a white man degree?
Fuck
But
your
you
knowledge come
asking
from
me
Google.
now. You
That's
want to
what Coach
ask me
Bacon
for a
sound
degree,
like.
but you
Come
was
on, shorty,
asking
shut
me to
up.
teach you
I'm not
10
even talking.
seconds ago.
See?
You're a grown man yelling and telling me to shut up like a child on a fucking
Exactly.
playground.
You're-
Why you on TikTok? Shut the fuck up.
You wouldn't
You a
pass
grown ass
the
woman.
degree
First
of
of all, hold on,
genetic
hold
makeup
on.
to know that we're the whole 360. You wouldn't be asking for a fucking
What was you saying?
Not
You're not gonna be clowned by no
that's what I'm
fucking
saying.
kids.
You
You're not gonna be
arguing
clowned by no
with-
fucking
arguing
kids.
with
Yeah, I'm grown. Grown as fuck.
Arguing
Too grown
with
for this little
yourself,
kid
bro.
shit y'all on.
Ricky, are we the
Fuck
same
you
as
talking
white
about? You
people?
got me fucked up.
360, nigga.
Because y'all got me fucked up in this joint.
Degrees is pulling from
Because
your
y'all got me
genetics,
fucked
and you
up.
have failed to
Because y'all got
realize
me-
that, bro.
Ricky,
That's
man,
pork,
Ricky.
Ricky. That's pork bacon coming out you,
Come
Ricky.
on, Ricky.
Pork.
Ricky,
Bitch,
please
fuck you
tell
talking
me, are
about?
we the
That's
same in
Wait,
white
steamed
you
pork.
people?
said
That's
chops,
What?
I was
Ricky.
Muslim. I don't even eat pork.
Come
Fuck you
on,
talking about?
Ricky.
One thing you not finna talk to them like that, so I'm gonna go ahead and get you up off there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fool.
quit
You're
eating
not
that
gonna do
meat,
that,
Ricky,
bro.
and go do your homework on you, bro.
Just
And stop
remember,
begging.
Ricky, you're an
See, we
example
little
to.
kids, we on little kid shit, but you asking these little kids for information though. So let's start there, little bro.
Facts.
The fuck?
Facts, bro. You making the little older ones look bad, bro. You making me look bad, Ricky. Come on, man.
Years old cussing people out that's 30 years younger than you, nigga. Fuck out of here, bro.
A female too at that. This is crazy work, man. Leave that fish alone, Ricky. If it ain't the pork, then it's the
And you
fish,
keep
man. It's the
requesting up.
fish,
We on
man.
little kid shit. We're dumb. We're all of this, but you keep requesting up trying to get
Keep coming
information.
up,
Like you
cussing
just
us
want to
out.
argue, bro. You're a grown ass. Are you drunk?
Let me.
What's
I want to
wrong with
really
you,
ask him
bro?
a question though. Let me ask him a question, and I want him to address me only.
This is the host live, bro.
Yeah, I'm up.
Oh
So
yeah,
if
if
you
you don't
wanna,
want
if
to,
you wanna, like, you know, DM him, yeah, he's not coming back up here no more. That's too much disrespect right there.
yeah, it's fine. I just wanted to see what he was thinking if we the same as him, but it's all good.
You straight, Cult of Black. Go ahead, Brody.
Yeah, how y'all doing, first of all?
Abundance.
Great. I'm an old dude too, but I ain't on that, you know. From my understanding, the Draconians, which is the lizard people, and the Syrians, which are us, we warred and we destroyed each other's planet. So we came to Earth and they came up with, you know, all this warring is nonsense. Let us make a man. So they use lizard people and one of our people. And the lizard people is they don't have a sex, so it's male or female. So they carried the baby, and that's where the European came from, to my knowledge.
All right. Well, so-called black people, we're throughout the entirety of the cosmos. So we're not just native to one specific place in the cosmos. Matter of fact, if you look at the so-called black woman, she is the cosmos in the physical. You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely, absolutely. And she
All
gave us
right.
the power, but we misusing it.
Right. So as far as us having a war, I don't think it was no war out there because for one, we created the species that created these other races of people on the planet.
Right. I'm not
Right. So
arguing,
it's
brother. I'm
not
on
going to
both
be no
sides of
war
it.
there.
I mean, you know, I'm saying a war before this world was even inhabited. Because this was a water world. They had to pull the land up out the water.
And can you explain how they did that?
Well, the reptilians had a technology that could pull stuff out the water, and they pulled the land up. This is what from my understanding now, but you do know that a man knows not by being told. If you know it, you must study it.
Right. I'm just trying to understand the information that you gathered. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Right, right. I'm
so
saying, yeah, that's what they had this kind of machine that could pull earth out of the water.
earth out of the water. What do you mean by that?
Pull land. The land that we're walking on was once on the water.
Just got back. They pulling Earth out of the water.
The land. Before, this is from my understanding now. Before this world was inhabited, it was uninhabitable because there was no land. It was just water.
Nah, that's not true, bro. It was always us. We naturally evolved with the planet.
Oh, I know it was always us, bro. But the
Bacteria.
question is where they came from. So I'm just explaining to you what I've learned where they came from. That's why in the Bible it says, "Let us make man." It's talking about us and the Draconians.
How is that explaining to us where they came from?
They said, "Let us make man." So they use us and them to make a man.
Wait, so these people came from so-called black people? Is that what you're saying?
No, they came from the Draconian, bro. The Draconians carried the babies, but they used
Oh,
some
so you're
of
saying that
our
the reptilians birthed these people?
right, but they
That
used
okay.
some of our DNA to birth them because we have the most dominant and powerful DNA.
Okay, so we know species can't mix with species, right? You understand that?
I mean, I've heard that, but then you got species that are mixed with species. You got a lion and tiger called a lagger.
But that came through genetic. Naturally, they can't reproduce with one another.
Right.
That's
This what I'm saying, bro. These reptilians had the technology. Ain't nothing new under the sun. So everything that's here has always been here. So they
You know how? Oh my bad. I was just gonna ask you a question based off of that. Do
okay,
you
go
know
ahead.
how long that's been dabbled with? Like, can you like give like a time frame? Because everybody always says like, oh, it's not new, but like, I just like to ask people like, can you actually give me a so-called time frame for how long that type of science has been dappled with, or tampered with? My bad. And how long the ideology has been around at least?
Well, as far as the date, I'm not able to give you that, but I got this information from Hidden Colors, and they talk about planes being on the hieroglyphs, computers, things of this nature on the hieroglyphics on the pyramid.
okay. So I want to ask you a question. Since the reptilians gave birth to these people, how did they use our DNA?
I don't know, brother. I don't know. I don't know if they took it from us and injected it in them. I think that's what it was said was done. Our DNA was.
Who said that was done? Like, where'd you read this?
Well, I actually heard this guy named Stuart Swerdlow.
Uh, so you don't know for sure. Like you just heard somebody else's perspective and went off of that.
Right, because I've seen him. I mean, not only on YouTube talking about it, I've seen him on TV, on different shows talking about this information, explaining who he was and all this stuff. And the first thing he starts off saying is 99.9% of everything you've learned is a lie.
So again, like when you're saying that the science or the tech has not been around for that long, are you able to give a time frame? That's all I'm asking.
I told you that before, ma'am. I wasn't able.
Okay,
Are you not
so
listening?
no, you're not listening to the
No,
host or he.
I told you,
So
ma'am. I didn't know a time frame, but as
but
far as I've heard on the hieroglyphics, there were.
I understand that. If you can tell me about the hieroglyphics, then you should be able to tell me how long ago it was done based off of the petroglyph. Dude, like y'all, like you see what I mean? Like y'all not getting it though. You know what I'm saying? He's spamming in the comments. This nigga in here is spamming the comments saying, personally, I know mixed race parent. Like that's not. We not talking about that, y'all. Y'all don't understand genetics. So let me just explain it. When you have two different species that cannot, they are composed of two different genetic material. There is something, again, you listening, Ricky? Because it's the last time I'm gonna say it for you. There is something known as introgression, which is where you take genetic material from species A and you use it to fertilize, or you introgress the genes into species B. That is done through hybridization, which is done through repeated back crossing. That right there, when you say electrical fusion, that is what introgression is. It's done through hybridization. So that science, according to DNA samples that were found, according to their timeline and how everything lines up, I can say from based off of 7 years of research that at least that they were dabbling in this at least since the 9 and 1000s.
Go ahead, you can respond.
Like the sister in the chat, I'm not even talking to the brother that's on the panel. I'm talking to a brother that's been here for 4 hours that's spamming the comments and came up. That's who I'm speaking to. I'm talking to Ricky. So I'm not even coming. I was basically killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Yeah, F1, my bad.
Well, I mean, I don't know how you kill 2 birds because you wouldn't even let me answer your question.
Mm, alrighty. So
And I already told you that 99.9% of everything you learned is a lie. So just because you researching something, don't make it true. You just going by somebody what somebody else said.
Going based off of what nobody said, if I'm doing the research on my own, and if everything that I'm basing my knowledge and my conscience around is an absolute 100% fact, then it's not a lie. A truth, something that is the truth and is a fact cannot be a lie. That's what we were talking about, scientific theories. You can test that and it will 100% work 100% of the time. Genetics does not change unless we're talking about mutations, which is why the host is saying, like, where did they come from?
Okay. But
Yeah.
truth today could not be truth tomorrow. But until you reach fruition, you don't have facts. You just think you know. Truth is something that you think you know. That's not fruition.
Genetics doesn't change.
Okay.
History can, language can, but genetics does not change.
Who was the first geneticist?
Imhotep.
Also Thoth, right?
Imhotep
That's the
was
same
the
person.
right.
That's the same person. Thoth.
Okay.
But she answered you though as soon as you asked her.
Yeah, but again, that's the Anunnaki. Where
No,
they at?
it's not.
What is
No,
that?
it's not, bro.
Come,
Imhotep was a neuromelanated man that lived 4,000 years ago in the
all the
so-called 12th
Anunnaki,
dynasty.
all the
I'm not
Anunnaki
talking about the
never been.
Anunnaki. Imhotep is not Anunnaki. That's a brother. That's
Im,
your first documented multi-genius and first doctor. So
Imhotep,
that was the first documented geneticist.
Imhotep is Thoth. Thoth was Yahweh's brother. Those are Anunnakis.
come on, bro. So Yahweh got a brother now.
Yeah, he got a lot of them. He got a lot of them. He has a lot of them, brother. That's why he sat in the council of gods. Come on, bro. He got a lot of them. And Imhotep was the one that taught you that they're not gods. You're just like them. Come on, bro. I'm up on this here too now. Look at my profile and look at my house.
It's no disrespect. You're saying that you're up on this, but like I don't know, because you said you didn't know whenever he asked you a question though twice.
I said I didn't know an actual date. That's the only thing I said I didn't know was a date. But you were too busy
We're talking
overstepping
about
me.
introgression. I don't want to talk no more, y'all. I think I've
Right,
been at
right.
this too long, bro. I'm fried with Cause it's like I literally told you about introgression here. And then you asked my question with a question, bro. Like
What
you can't have a discussion.
what question did you ask?
You said who was the first geneticist?
Right.
Like, what does that have to do? What are you asking that for though?
Because I was trying to see what information were you on? What frequency you were flowing on? And you answered it. And I didn't deny you or anything. And I didn't ask you another question. I said toast. You said Imhotep. I said toast. That's all I said. So I didn't ask you a question. And I'm not up here disagreeing with anything you guys are saying. I'm just telling you what I've learned. We all know they're from somewhere, and it's not us. And they haven't been on Earth that long. We know this much.
My bad. Uh, so you said I'm gonna just go off of what you stated to me. You said that the reptilians gave birth to all other races outside of so-called black people.
No, that's not what I said. I said they gave birth to the Europeans.
Well, Europeans and Arabs are genetically the same.
Right. You're right. You're right.
All
So them
right.
people, all the ones that were up in the Caucasus Mountains.
Okay, so where did Asians come from then?
The Asians came from us and them. The
You said
us
that
and
about the other people, but you just said that only Europeans.
right. No, I said the European came from the reptile. I said the Asian came from us and the children of the reptilians, bro. That's what
But
I'm
that
telling you.
you know the white people were the last creation, right?
I don't know that.
According to genetics, they are. The Asians predate all of them. They're the first. The Dravidian comes second, and last is Caucasian, which is the reason why they're called Caucasian because the Asian predates them. So
Okay,
if you
so
look at genetics, it'll tell you.
so I didn't know that information, and I appreciate that. But now, can you tell me where the Asian came from? Because I don't know. I'm asking you.
Yeah, introgression.
It- a what?
Electroporation,
Oh,
introgression.
okay.
Yeah. All right. So go ahead and Culture Black if you want to. My brother put it in the comments if you want to write that down and do some deeper studies on that. You can.
Yeah, I don't need to write anything. I write it in my brain, bro. Introgression, electronic introgression. I got you. Soon as I drop, I'm googling it and find out what it is. And
All
I
right, I got
appreciate
you.
you for the information.
No problem. I got you. Um,
So I'm about to drop and go check it out.
most definitely abundance.
Abundance.
All right, I'm finna wait and see if this person loads in. If they don't, I'm gonna start up with All Star, and we can just go down. Everybody can say their last little points, and then I'm gonna go ahead and end the live. Oh, they're here to watch.
How y'all
Uh,
doing?
how you doing? What do you want to add to the topic?
I want to answer that question. Where did they come from? And like I said in the comments, we're all from one source, whether it was God's lowercase g or whether it's the Most High. Everything is from one source. So the delineation of where they came from doesn't matter. We're all from one source. So the divisiveness of the different races is exactly what people want. Because if there's divisiveness within the races, then how do we truly know where we're from? We're completely ignoring the Most High in this situation. That's all I had to say.
All right. Well, first I'm at. So are we all the same biologically?
Yes, we actually are, because I looked up the different terminologies y'all were using, and based upon our current science and everything I was able to find, we all share the same genetic material.
So you
But
looked it
yet,
up on Google while you was listening to the live?
where else would you like me to pull it from? I'm not a plethora of information who gets knowledge from the
You're pulling
universe.
from the
That's
Naturally, you
plethora
are
of
asinine.
plethora of
information,
information
though.
yourselves.
I couldn't hear multiple people talking at once. So, like I said before, we're all from one source. We're all from one spark of the divine. The Most High
Okay,
spoke,
so
and therefore it was.
okay, if everybody's from the same spark of divine and we're all biologically the same, why do we present differently? Why are these other people having complications on a planet that they're supposedly naturally conducive to?
Because the geological locations of where our races are from has implications up until today. For
That
instance,
shouldn't
all
that
black
shouldn't
people
matter
have
if
the
we're
same,
all from the same source though.
but it does, because we are all from the same source. We're all the same, but we are different races.
Like my sister said. Oh yeah, go ahead.
For instance, white people migrated, the Europeans, they
Discussing
migrated.
species. We're discussing speciation. So we're not talking about migration patterns because that's what we've been talking about this whole live. No top scientist or historian has actually proven evolution to be correct. We never went from haploids to diploids or being prokaryotic organisms, and because of migration and diet, where all of a sudden eukaryotic, that's not the way genetics works. And the top geneticist in the world is not even saying that. So I don't know why we're discussing race right now when this shit has nothing to do with race.
Yeah, so like she just said, we're discussing genetics in here, and you said that we're all biologically the same. So I want you to explain that.
Are we not all human? Do we not
No.
have blood? Do we? Okay, so here's the thing. Do
Animals
our
have blood. Does
systems,
that mean animals are human? I mean,
we are of the same
animals are human.
source. And
Okay.
yes, we actually have animal DNA. So do we have, and we
Who
also
is
have
we?
plant DNA.
Hold
All
on.
people. So
You said
pause. Let me actually explain myself so I can actually get my point across.
okay.
All
Yeah, go ahead.
humans are related to mushrooms. That's a scientific fact. We have plant DNA as well as we have animal DNA because we were made from this earth and what was here. So if you actually research that, we are very similar. We share some of the same genes. Our closest relative is actually mushrooms, it's actually fungi. So, yet we might be different as far as the races, our actual makeup of melanin in our skin, but we're all from the same place, which is the source, the most high.
Scientists and historians already proved that y'all don't come from Earth's natural evolution. You know what I'm saying? We so-called black people are the only people who evolve with the planet and the solar system. So why would Source make you guys not being able to biosynthesize the sun and evolve with the planet, but make us undergo black body radiation and make our suit the best capable for this planet?
Because yet again, first of all, I'm black. So I don't understand why y'all keep on saying y'all to black people. One,
Because when
it
you start to
points,
defend these people, you start to it just
wait.
when
I'm
you
not
start to
defending
defend
them.
these people, it just starts to show that you think like these people.
So let me
So
break it
you
down for
get
you.
what I'm saying?
So let me break it down for you. I'm not defending them, but I also don't live according to my trauma of my
But how
ancestors. Thank
could
you.
you
You're
though?
interrupting me. You're
Yeah, I
interrupting me.
can because I'm a mod and I have the capability to mute you.
No, it's because you're
So just out
simple.
of respect for the host, just out of respect for the host, how did they get here? Because every scientist and historian in the world is saying that prokaryotic organisms have a question mark on their genetics. So we're arguing facts. You can't just sit in a live and then Google shit and then think you got it figured out and then come on our panel and then tell us that we're wrong when we're
I didn't
not
say you're
using
wrong.
Google. We're using books, we're using peer-reviewed essays, we're using lectures, we're using essays. We're actually looking at the scientific research that these people are doing. The
But you're
problem
getting
is y'all go to
information from
Google
other
for
people.
everything. No, I'm looking at the facts about how organisms and cells function. That's not listening, and that's just looking at nature, bro. What do you mean? You don't need a scientist to tell you how a eukaryotic organism functions, bro. You just study the function of the organism and the cell.
It's all about
So
comprehension.
if you don't know what this topic is if you can't have the discussion, then don't request up and don't think you have everything figured out based off of Google, because everything my books is saying otherwise, and they're written by doctors and you're Googling.
Okay, are you finished?
This is like get the fuck out of here,
Wait, I
bro.
just have one more point.
No, bro, you're disrespectful. Like, that's the thing. Don't insult me when you don't have anything to add to the conversation, bro. The host asked, where do they come from? You're talking about fucking race, which was created by the same eukaryotic organism, bro. And then you're telling me to shut up and hush and are you done and da da da. Like, no. State of fact. That's all we're asking. Like, y'all, we sat here for like what, 10, 12 niggas? And nobody knew for real though.
Right,
Y'all
y'all
asking
saying
us.
that we got ate up by this dude and shit like that, but the thing is, he brought the Most High into it and couldn't even explain how we're all biologically the same.
Yeah, he didn't.
He just spoke about the eukaryotic cell. That's all, literally.
He said we were all the same. What?
Can I finish my statement? Because here's the one thing you can't do. You can't refute the Most High. The Most High is everything.
Most
So,
High.
and
Hey,
So
what are
then
you
explain
talking
it.
about, bro?
So then explain it, because there's a scientific explanation for everything, including your Most High. Go ahead and
okay,
explain to me how the eukaryotic cell got here.
okay, but you're going into something that literally has nothing to do with the full making.
Question, the host is asking, where did the eukaryotic cell come from? Can you explain it scientifically, biologically, and genetically, please? That's all we're asking.
Everything is from God. And let me further explain.
We're not
Okay,
talking about God, bro.
I know, I'm explaining the cells. I'm
Okay, go
explaining the
ahead.
cells. So if
Go
you
ahead.
hold on and let me finish, everything, chemically or otherwise, goes back to a frequency. That frequency identifies with a spectrum of light. Everything is a spectrum of light. So while we're trying to identify these different cells, you're missing the point. We are spirits, which is light, a frequency, having an experience in this body. So what this body is made out of or made up of is irrelevant because we are not this body. We are spirits.
Some people are spirits and some people are souls, but some people have souls and spirit. And there's a quantum explanation, a quantum scientific explanation for that. That's what we're saying. Of course they have spirits. Of course they have light. That's what electrical fusion is. So of course they are all spirit, but they lack the soul, which is the neuromelanin, the only molecule that can condense light and is condensed sunlight. So as a field, that's what the co-host, that's what my boyfriend just asked you. Why did he make your suit to be for it to have biological identification to this planet, and there's not?
But
Pheomelanin is pseudomelanin, and there is no biological identification with pheomelanin and eumelanin to this planet, but there is with neuromelanin.
but here's the thing. All of our brains contains neuromelanin. It's in the pineal gland. It is activated or deactivated depending on how calcified the pineal gland is. So
I
they all
understand.
have it. but
They
theirs
are
is not
born.
active.
They are born. Then how do they have it if it's not active?
We all are born with it.
We are born with our pineal gland open.
Exactly.
Neuromelanin is present before we're even born. They are born with their pineal glands calcified. They are not born producing neuromelanin. So just because there is us and them does not mean that they come from us, y'all. That's what introgression is explaining. They have been electrically fused with multiple different genetic material to make one organism, which is the reason why there are at least 5 different animals speaking through one nucleus for them. That is what eukaryotic means. It means multicellular or complex cell organism.
And neuromelanin regulates your serotonin and your melatonin in your body. And these people, and it also regulates your circadian rhythm. And these people, you can see how they live under the sun. The sun, their body rejects the sun. So how can they produce neuromelanin in the third ventricle of the brain, or to stimulate their body when their body rejects the sun, and all of their people are getting acute body radiation, and 500,000 of their people get unalived by the sun? And that was just from the 2000 to 2019. Now it's up to the millions.
Well, that's because of the solar flares, the CMEs that are being projected.
Absolutely.
Facts.
That's
Right.
the one fact that absolutely.
And neuromelanin is condensed sunlight.
That's us.
So
Okay.
this UV light is changed into condensed sunlight once it hits our melanocytes or our integumentary system. That's what happens. You see what I'm saying? The biosynthesis of gamma rays, it turns into condensed sunlight. That's what that liquid is, that dark substance in the brain is condensed sunlight. So how can these people have condensed sunlight when they can't even absorb the sun?
That doesn't make
So
any
here's the thing, they
sense.
can
And the tea
absorb the
house,
sun, they're just more sensitive to it because of the lack of pigmentation in their skin. So basically, by what y'all are
Neuromelanin.
saying, wait, let me finish. So basically, by what y'all are saying is white people don't have serotonin receptors, dopamine receptors, nor do they have a circadian rhythm, which is all false. They all have those things. We all do because we all have receptors. So
We're talking about
just
the
because,
function of the cell and the organism is completely different. It doesn't matter if they have it or not.
And
If
we're not.
it's a different embryological origin. It's not stemming from the same place with these niggas because they are incomplete dominant. So they're not 100% of anything. So when you look at our genetic composition, we evolve not only with the planet, but with the entire solar system and the entire cosmos. So when they are studying how they know about space is because they study your neuromelanin.
yes, because
So
as above,
again,
so
they
below.
don't, okay then. So if you know that, right, then you will know that they did not come from your above. That's what I'm trying to say. They did not come from the so-called above. They don't identify with any planet or solar system or star or nothing. They were electrically fused, and every scientist, historian, climatologist, geneticist is saying that that's the only explanation. A pig can't mate with a fruit fly or celery, considering that celery is a eukaryotic organism or plant.
Okay.
And also, the
Facts.
pineal glands are permanently calcified because this is what produces the neuromelanin. So this was mean if it wasn't, then they would gain melanin. They would be darker, and that does not happen. So they can't even biosynthesize the sun.
So is that stating that white people don't get energy from the sun just the same as black people do?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
But them being white isn't the non-existence of melanin, it's the lack of melanin. So it's not saying that they don't have it
They
whatsoever.
they do have melanin, but it's a different type of melanin, bro. They have pheomelanin, which is animal melanin.
So they have a lot of melanin. It's just not the same type of genetic, the genetic material of your melanin that you have, because it's a different type of genetic material, different species. Pheomelanin and eumelanin is the same. Eumelanin will turn into pheomelanin. They're both animal melanin. They both don't identify with this planet.
Yeah, the spectrum exists between EU melanin and pheomelanin. They try to say that we were all part of this spectrum, but we're really not because it's two different types of melanin. EU melanin and pheomelanin is still animal melanin.
Okay. So I'm just going to say this last part. I thank y'all for letting me come on and voice my opinion. It started off kind of rocky, but I appreciate y'all dialing it back and letting me explain myself. And then you all also explaining yourselves. That's all I ever wanted was watching this live. So thank you. I respect that.
No problem. Abundance and gratitude. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to Lady V.
Hi, what do I didn't have no question.
Can you contribute to the topic?
I agree with what you guys have been discussing so far, and I've been in the chat.
All right. Is there a reason why you requested up?
No, I didn't even know I did that.
All right. Well, I'll go to the real Benny West.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
Hold on, before you go, I already answered in the comments. You keep saying, what about albinos? Albinos are still so-called black people. They still possess neuromelanin. But you can go ahead, Benny. My fault.
No, I was when I seen the where did they come from, like I wanted to know what topics that you already touched on. Because I already have my concepts of when you talking about the mixtures of DNA, and as far as them not one, they're not ether beings. They're not non-ether beings in no form, shape, or fashion. So um the where did they come from concept, I always was thinking that when you came with the Caucasoid, which is a division of our culture, I was always looking at the concept of the primate, but the mixtures of everything else, I started going into to like animal traits, like mixed with ours. Like I don't know if everyone ever heard of the Yakub experiment or everybody believes in that concept, but it still kind of makes sense of why they have somewhat what we have mixed in with another form of DNA. And I always looked at it like they came from the primate or the chimp, like the chimps or some different culture of that or some form of animal. So that's kind of where I go with it when I say where did they come from.
So, are you saying that you agree with the Yakub whole situation?
Well, when you do your structure, as far as the thinking about it and where they, if you read on the Yakub experiment, it's not far off. It's really not far off. I can't say that I wasn't there, so I don't really know. It's still it's a recorded. It's really like a recorded hour story, but at the end of the day, it's not really far off because if you've ever stayed around them, been in a relationship around any Paleolithics or any cultures that are different from my own indigenous inhabitants, it's definitely the smell. It's definitely the hair. They don't have any, like I say, non-ether qualities, melanated qualities. It's not saying that they don't possess melanin because they do possess small forms of melanin, but they do not possess ether qualities. And that's one main thing that lets me know that they had to be created from something similar. Like they're a division. Even if you look at the dictionary, it says if you look up, you'll see mongoloid because there's only one race. That's the human race. You feel me? And then you have mongoloids, you have caucasoids, and then you have negroids. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you see negroids and mongoloids, it'll tell you the inhabitants of where each origin of those species come from out of the human race. And then when you see Caucasoids, it immediately say a division of the humankind, which is already depicted in the dictionary that they're not like us. You know what I'm saying? And that's just to be 100. in the midst of the situation. But I really do believe that they are a mixture of us and some other form of animal. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's even a hypothesis I have on them being clones of us, because if you know anything that's cloned lacks melanin and lacks what do you say, brown eyes or brown pigmentation in the eyes. Like if you look at them, they look like the Walking Dead compared to us. So I've seen it can be so many different hypotheses of how they came about. So there had to be some. I feel like there had to be some form of experimentation to create their culture.
How do you splice a cell in neuromelanin?
How do you splice a cell in
How
your?
would they have our genetic material if our cells are coated in neuromelanin?
I can't even tell you. I'm not a scientist. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to ask someone who does splicing and does that. Like for me to even try to
You're
answer that,
you're the
that
one who's
is
telling us that they used us. So
no.
we're
I'm the one
asking you
that's
how
I'm the
because
one that said I believe that. You the one took it as I said that. I
but
said I
we're done with believing.
believe that there was a possibility of how they could do that, but I can't tell you how they do a lot of things, because when you go into science, you have to actually literally go into the study of doing that. You can't just speak on it
Yeah.
in some forms of theory as far as a
Not if
hypothesis.
not if you understand the denotation itself and what the tech is doing, what the process is about. That's just basis understanding the definition. So you're saying that they have us and them, but you can't really explain it, is what you're saying.
No, all I'm saying is they're still in it. Like it's just like you say, they're in some form of image of us. They have arms and legs like us. They have head like us. They bleed like us. They still do things similar to us. And like I say, it says in any forms um of definition of a Caucasoid or Paleolithic that they are a division of what we are. Because when the human itself is considered to be that of hue, some form of melanated, some forms of color. If they are a division of us, meaning they're divided from what we are, there is some forms of explanation. Maybe if you're a scientist and you understand splicing, maybe you have to go deeper in your studies on that understanding. But there's something that says that they are somewhat of what we are because of the structure of how they look. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only kind of concept I can kind of put in there. I can't go directly and say how, because I don't do that. I didn't create the culture. You know what I'm saying?
It's just like you can look into this type of tech though. It's called CRISPR-Cas9, and it's been
Okay.
dabbled with since the 9 and 1000s.
Okay. Yo, like I'm not disagreeing with
Be
anything that
a
anyone's
scientist
saying.
for that. No,
All
and
I'm doing is adding a thought for you to think about that you could possibly investigate yourself. And if anything, like I say, get back with me or let me know as well too, because I've always wondered, but I don't know. But what I can say is it has to be a similarity somewhere in there because of the fact that we can still procreate with them. You know what I'm saying? So by us being able to still be able to procreate, there has to be some form of understanding where they can have a baby by us that is melanated. You know what I'm saying? So there's
that's what I'm
still
saying. If you explore the keywords I'm telling you, introgression, hybridization, racemization, serranoportation, electroporation, like this will give you your answer. We can procreate with them because of introgression.
all
That's
right.
genetic engineering.
So let me ask you your question is. So where do you think they came from? I mean, I got it. I mean, you coming at me, so I got to figure this out.
Introgression.
So you think they were so explain that concept then. How
No.
how did that happen? Integration just is just they integrated us with them and then or they just was
Nah,
put
it's
Go
best.
do
It's
the
best for you.
research.
Yeah, it's
Because
best
what
for you to look that up.
Yeah, integration is using those CRISPR-Cas9 tools that we were talking about. So you just said they
I would
integrated
figure
with
they
us. You don't know what you're asking even.
So do you feel like you need to be asking us? Do you feel like you need to be asking yourself,
No, I
researching that for
mean,
yourself, so the next generation can have the truth? The next generation doesn't want beliefs or lies. They want the truth. We don't want to be in the same cycle that we've been. Like somebody said, through back crossing. That's introgression.
Thank you. And I said that. That's somebody
That
that's been in here and I heard, and I don't know that the brother that's on the panel just came in here, but I just want to state it for the room again. I understand people come and go. You cannot grasp a concept like this from a live. You have to go do the research in order for you to be able to have the conversation, because you don't, if I tell you introgression, you're like, oh, you don't even know how to ask it, because it's not nothing that can be physically done or mutated. It's something that has to be purposely done, right? It's gonna take time for you to grasp at least the subject or the definition itself.
all of this is just to remind our people to remember themselves, to look at themselves, to know thyself, so we can know who is our species and who is not our species. Because now that we're confused, we don't know who's who. Our children and our women are getting snatched. You see what I'm saying? That's what's going on, because we're not focusing on who we are down to the genetic makeup of who we are, and we're not teaching that to children. And that's the problem with so-called black people that we have today, is identity crisis. We don't know who we is. We don't really know what the genetic makeup means.
Facts. And we
which is
say we
neuromelatonin.
gods and goddesses, but you can't explain to me why and how.
Exactly.
You sitting in here asking me, but if you're a divine being, you know what I'm saying? The soul is all knowing. How do we push that narrative to our children and we can't even explain it as adults to each other? We can't do that. We got to stop that. Because that means that you're going off of a belief. You see what I'm saying? I seen somebody say, I'm a goddess, but then ask a question that if you're a goddess, then you wouldn't be calling if you're a divine being, bro, you would not be referring to yourself as a god or a goddess. That is dogma. That's what that term is rooted in. It's rooted in dogma, and that's where it comes from. That's its origin. So I'm saying genetics is telling you about the origin of everything. If you understand the origin of these people, then you'll know that you're not supposed to be speaking this language. It's a dogmatic, satanic language. Our original language was telepathy. That's the only thing that the planet understand. So it's just like you have to take all truth, all facts, and put them together. That's the truth. What is the universe saying? What is universal law saying? It's not saying nothing about patriarchy or hierarchy, or that we prisoners of war, or that we slave gods, goddesses, queens, or kings. It's not saying that. So I just encourage my people, go deeper.
Yeah, facts. Like once you start moving off of I believes and all that, that's just making our race even more weaker. We all gotta know. We gotta stop moving off of beliefs. It ain't doing nothing for us. We've been moving off of beliefs for the last, I don't even know how many years. And look at us now. We're literally allowing people to snatch up our babies because we're going off of beliefs that we're all the same. But Benny, if you got anything else you need to say, then I'm gonna go ahead and move on to Anna, because I know you joined up. I don't know if you got to speak yet.
can you hear me?
Yeah. Yo, Benny West, you're muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. We can't hear you if you off the app though.
You can't. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can't hear you if you go off the app though.
Yeah. So I did some study. I was doing some study of what you were saying as far as the hybridization and back crossing and stabilization. So I see exactly what you're talking about, but still there's a concept of, if you're saying that this is how they came into play, or that where they came from, it's still it's still a question of who did that then. Like you know what I'm saying? Like who did that to them and brought them here in the midst of us? Because we are definitely mixed in with them at a very high rate, to the point they're running our communities. So I mean, there's still a big understanding of not no believing now. Like that's a fact. So if that's the case, how do you change that?
I would advise, brother, like, and I'm just gonna say it again. If you're listening in the live and you just look it up quickly, then you don't know that you don't really grasp the concept though. See, you're asking that question, brother, because you don't understand their genetics and you don't understand the so-called black woman's genetics and everything that happened to her and what they did to her and her species. So I get it, but I understand that y'all are trying to do the research, but you have to take the key words though. You might need to take because I didn't just come to a TikTok live and get it and then do a lot. No, this is something that I've been researching for at least 3 years. At least 2 years that I can tie back to history. And I can actually say, okay, based off of this animal, based off of this plant, based off of their genome, then I can make this conclusion and then cross-reference it with a fact. Now I know, and I'm not moving off of beliefs, because now I have facts and sources that are showing me that this lines up with y'all's history. And genetics is first. But my thing is,
what's your plan of action?
What for what?
And this is why we didn't want to answer that first question, because you didn't do that research like she just said. So you're just gonna ask more questions.
So you don't have a plan of action.
No,
It's not about a fucking plan. You're asking me as a divine being for a plan for your species as the masculine. You're the protector. Go do the research on your anatomy, brother, so you can understand what the vessel is for.
Our children
Like, what
and
you
women are
mean?
missing, and you're saying, what do we do?
What do we do? Like, what the fuck? That's why it's hard for me to fucking talk to y'all, bro, because he just said something about children and nobody said anything. You asking me for, like, that shit blows me, bro.
Nobody has talked about
Like,
children,
bro,
about getting back
it's
to
not
children,
about needing
getting
to form a plan, brother.
Like, what's going
It's
on?
about going within. We are already together in the hoods. We are already together on this app. We are already together in this live, though. But are we together in spirit? Do we know ourselves? No, that's what the live is about. You got to know yourself. You got to sit down with you. You can't just listen to a live and then question me about your suit, though. If I'm doing the research on my suit, why can't you? Why are you challenging me? That's what I don't understand about my people. You want me to tell you everything, but nobody told me.
Exactly. Like, for us to get this knowledge, we didn't go around asking people, what is this? What is that? What is that?
Free
We went
thinkers.
to read.
Curiosity, because the soul is all knowing.
So if you have that curiosity, go explore that shit. It's that simple.
Right, what are you asking for a plan
you're
for?
too grown for that shit,
asking,
bro.
where do they come for? Where the fuck do we need a plan for that for? We way off topic.
Facts.
Fuck, we need a plan of action for. We didn't create these motherfuckers.
I had a question, but I'm afraid y'all gonna cut me out.
I was trying to see where the live was going because I joined, but I was trying to get in on the topic of what y'all was
Yeah, so
talking
the
about.
topic is where did they come from? And if you're gonna join up here, I would like you to, give me your thoughts on where did they come from.
Well, can I ask a question without?
Hold on 1 second. When you're saying where did they come from, who are you referencing to?
Everybody outside of the so-called black race.
Oh, okay.
All right, now can I ask a question without like getting cussed at or just like ruffling any feathers?
What's your question?
Thank you. All right, so the question I want to ask is, I know you all said you can do this yourself, this and that, but people are asking for sources. Where do you start? I know I understand you said you did this on your own. You know what I'm saying, because you're on a higher mind of thinking. But if you're saying you're living this lifestyle, so you're not going to be on that mind of thinking, why not elevate that? Where do they start? What books, what sources did you get this from? Where should someone start if they want to research this? Where should one where would they acquire this knowledge from that, y'all took y'all 7 years to learn? Like, where did you start?
Yeah, brother, wherever they think they should start, because that's exactly, and I'm not even being
That's how
facetious.
misinformation. I'm
But
sorry. Go ahead.
brother, I'm not being facetious for real. Like, I'm not being facetious. You're asking me where do you start? I didn't ask nobody that, and nobody told me. I just came into conscious. I was curious. That's it. I was curious, and my curiosity led me here. You
That's
see what
fair.
I'm saying?
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's a
that's
very
it.
fair answer. However, that's how misinformation is spread. That's how misinformation is gained from people. They with that. All right, let's say I eat meat. I'll say that. Pause. But y'all would say, that's I'm not on the right mind style or however I don't know how you would say it. So me being a person that's imperfect, should I say? How would someone of my level, you know what I'm saying? Like, where would a person like me who would start? Of course, I'm not in my right mind of thinking, as you would say it, because of whatever lifestyle I'm living. How would a person of my lifestyle get that?
That's what I'm saying. I wasn't either. I was extremely chemically imbalanced, and I was one shot away from being an alcoholic.
But us being great as we are, when you want to share,
I'm done. Abundance, y'all. Like,
why do we have to tell you
No, you're
about
fine.
the black?
Okay, I
Hold
understand.
on. Listen.
No, it's fine. You don't have to explain. You're gonna say
Listen. Why do we have to tell you about the body that you use 100% of the time, but you don't know how it's getting misused? Why is that? Why do we have to tell you that? The fact that we even have to go live to tell our people that there's an inorganic species taking our women and children is crazy. That's what we're talking about. So there should be no excuse. There's children right now. We could call up a mother of life with her children right now, and the children will tell you that they're prokaryotic cells, and they can differentiate who's prokaryotic and who's eukaryotic in nature.
And
They can eat.
They're 6, 7, and 9 years old. But you want to know why? They were listening to my live. They were curious, and they said to their mother, "I want to talk to Jay." And ever since then, ever since October, I've been locked in with the children because of their curiosity as starseeds, bro.
And they started to ask their mother. They started to ask their mother, "Oh, can we get books?" So they started to get books on nature and started to expand their mind. That's all we need to do.
At 7.
Y'all think this shit is about some mystical shit? It's about loving yourself enough to know thyself, so you can pass it down to the next generation. That's what it's about. That's how we unify, because black people, like she said, we're already together. We're like magnets to each other. So we're spiritual magnets to each other. So when we spiritually an energetic match of each other, like we should be an energetic match from the sun, then now we will navigate in how we supposed to be in the vessel that we're in.
You gotta be
That's
an
it.
energetic match for every conversation that you're having.
Like, it
If
doesn't
you're
make
not-
sense,
if
bro.
you're
You
not-
too grown, bro.
Yeah,
Y'all too grown. There's no excuse. Y'all gonna see no one is gonna live comfortable on this planet because we forgot about the children. You see what I'm saying? Y'all over here arguing, please give us the knowledge. There's children that are getting snatched that never feel the grass, never breathe the air, never feel the sun on their face, and you crying because you don't know about your melanin, but the information is out there. You crazy as shit. You crazy as shit. I'm telling
I'm
you, y'all
listening
sound
to
crazy.
y'all, but
as
y'all
shit.
sound like somebody that I already follow.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm just confused on why grown children are making excuses while the children are getting psychologically and medically evaluated by different species that fed our children the crocodiles. That's what I want to know.
Because their parents don't know, and
It's
they're
not
going
even
into it.
adding to the conversation, though. That's what I don't understand. That's the type of stuff we talking about being a free thinker and being willing and curious enough. How do you request up to the panel and have nothing to fucking add and then tell us what we sound like, bro, out of respect? How do you ask us for books and shit when you've been in here long enough? That's the thing. The people that are asking are people that we can see everybody when you come in the live and when you leave. That's why it frustrates us, because we know that you've been in here long enough to hear it and how many times we've said it since you've been here. And some of these people that are asking, I'm not going to say no names about nobody on the panel. You've asked us before. So let's stop the fucking semantics, bro.
And the
Y'all like playing.
slower that we get to know thyself, the slower that we get back to our children.
You see what I'm saying? That's how it is. That's why we haven't got back to our children, because we're running to all these titles, not knowing that we this planet belongs to us biologically and genetically.
It's books highlighted on my Instagram. It's keywords that's been dropped in here. You see what I'm saying? Dr. Delbert Blair, Dr. Layla Africa. You see what I'm saying? Dr. Richard King. Some of Bobby Hemmett's work. You see what I'm saying? And just understanding the way that organisms function. Is it conducive to nature? Studying origin and genetics. The base word of genetics is gene, which means origin. If you want to know where something comes from, that is where you have to start. You don't start with history. History is a made up narrative that, yes, may have facts, but it is not where did these people come from that created history. So again, if everything is going to take you back to genetics, if you haven't explored that, I would suggest that you should. But I don't know if you're talking about origin, how you haven't come across genetics. That's all the host is asking.
Right. I want to say abundance to them for real, because this does go back to our children. Like, no funny shit. Like, I woke up today, or I wrote. I don't like to say woke or anything like that, but I got up and I just gave thanks that I'm able to be here where I am right now. You feel what I'm saying? Because like they said, bro, like 8 million children worldwide get snatched up. You feel what I'm saying? That could have been you. And I'll be damned if I waste my time on this planet talking about BS. You feel what I'm saying? I'm trying to get back to my people. I'm trying to help the children. This is
Periodic woman that's in the comments, though. You're not us. Like, Lilu, you're not us. So what plan do you think is going to work for you when we're not the same organism, bro?
I have a question
We
for the
don't have to
host.
do nothing outside of ourselves besides know thyself and eat according to our genetic makeup. That's it. The sun is already separating us. It's already removing the eukaryotic organism, which is you. And you've been in here since 12 p.m., bro. And it's 8 p.m. and you're still saying the same shit when we literally broke down your genetic composition today, bro. You are a eukaryotic woman. Your nucleus is being removed. That's what UVC radiation does to eukaryotic organisms. That's not hate speech. If you understand the wavelength and how long it's been ground level and what it does to the cell in the organism, it is a fact. That's all I'm saying. I don't know how you can be here all day when it's a discussion to so-called black people and you think you're black and you like, bro, and we've explained the genetics behind how you're not. The fuck, talking about start a movement. The sun is moving you off the planet. That's the movement.
So I have a question, you guys. How is the origins going to protect the children? Because that seems to be the topic.
Well, once we understand where these people came from, we would understand that we have a total biological difference, and we're not even the same species as these people that we're handing our children over to. How many children woke up today and had to go straight to school? You feel what I'm saying? How many of us are taking our children to their hospitals to get medically evaluated?
Well, a lot of parents, if they don't know, then that's what they used to. So you got to
That's the thing. They don't know.
start
That's
there.
why it matters to understand where these people came from, because they're not us. And once we understand the genetic differences, we can understand why these people do the things that they do.
Well, I definitely do. Like, I've worked in the healthcare field. Like, I study science, so I kind of like understand a lot of the stuff. But I do believe that in some communities, people are not applying what they are learning to their normal or daily lifestyles.
So let me ask you something real quick, sister. If you work in this field, right, and you get on lives like this, what your next move will be to do a study so deeply that you realize you working for them is part of the problem.
Right, me working for them is just my income, but I do like educate the people that I encounter like how they can become healthy, how they can stay out of the doctor's office. Because a lot of people have health issues, and it does begin with what you're eating. So me working in the healthcare field, that's because I choose to, and that's because I choose to live a healthy lifestyle. So what I do while I am in the work field is to educate my people, because again, people don't know. So you just can't expect them just to know. And if they don't know and you're not educating, then they gets the people nowhere.
I have a question. How are you? Okay, this system was built for our destruction, and there's no way around that. The job that you're working, because 100% of jobs are built off of our genocide. So even us working in their healthcare system is still contributing to our downfall, because Western medicine is not even explaining your anatomy. So how could you be telling them anything about their anatomy when you're not even studying their anatomy in their schools because they don't tell you about it? That's
I have
something that
studied
you need to
anatomy in
branch
school.
off.
I went to college,
No,
so
I
by me going
understand.
there,
I
I
understand,
studied.
and I have too, but
Right.
they don't teach the so-called Black anatomy, the Dravidian anatomy, the so-called Cubano. They don't teach the specific anatomy, the genetic differences between people. They teach you that you're all the same.
I mean, yeah, that's the concept, because they teach you like you're an animalistic being, which I know that. And by me reading certain things and by me being divine, I can kind of pick up on what's being a lie and what's not. I have discernment. So when you have those type of gifts, you utilize them. And again, me working in the healthcare field is me educating my people, letting them know how to become better, how to become healthier, and not come to the doctor, because Western medicine is studying us. So our individuals that are going to the doctors, they're being studied on, they're being manipulated. Like,
And
I'm
you're
aware of
telling
that.
them to come back to that, is what you're
No,
saying.
no, I did not say that. I am educating them, as I said,
But you
on how
work
to
in
become
you
healthier.
work in the field though. Why would you
Yeah,
contribute
because you got to
when
work the
they're
field
studying?
inside out. That's just how you
Why?
got to
I
do
don't
it.
do that. I don't do that. And I
That's
have
you. You're
start when
different
it
from me.
starts.
You're different from me, and
Oh,
that's
really
okay.
though? Really? But according to genetics, we're the same, sister. The only difference between me and you is discipline.
Yes, ma'am,
We're
but we
genetically the
have different
same.
thoughts. We have different thoughts, and you can't
Because of
project your
what?
thoughts onto me.
Discipline and frequency. I'm not
Right.
projecting.
Well,
I'm
you're
not
saying
projecting.
if
That's
I'm
a
working,
fact.
you're saying if I'm working there, how can I help them? And I'm telling them to get better and not to return. You stated as if I was saying that I'm telling them to come back. I never once said
You're
that.
contributing to your own genocide is the point that I'm making, especially by working in their healthcare system.
For a moment.
I disagree.
All right, but
My bad. You might want to try to be
like
an
they
editor.
said, 100% of occupations are built off the genocide of so-called black people. That's 100% a fact. But
But again,
I'm
some
confused
things
on the
don't
but
stance.
exist.
it's all. I'm gonna move on to Miss Jonesy
We
though.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead, Miss
Why are
Jonesy.
people with the same
we
kind of
have to
background or the same knowledge kind of like
Who speak? Oh, Miss Jonesy, go ahead.
we have to understand that everybody is on a different frequency here. The lady that just was in the healthcare industry, she really thinks that she's helping us. She's on 3D.
no, she's not. That's all.
I know that, but she really thinks that she's doing that in their building. I'm
Yeah,
educating everybody.
to the
I'm
people that's going.
educating everybody in their building. No, you're not. You're not telling them, girl, you need to take herbs and this and that instead of this. You're not.
How you feel like I'm not telling them that?
You can't do that in their building, girl.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I'm a phlebotomist. Y'all don't even know
Okay.
what type of healthcare work I do.
Phlebotomist, I have a daughter that's
Yes.
a registered nurse. So you're at the bottom.
And trying to level up either. I was right
You
where I
should
needed to
be.
be. I work under
You should
doctors.
be trying to
Why would I be
level
trying
up.
to level up in the healthcare
You
system if I know
should
it's
be.
already a demise?
No, you should be trying to level up, but not in the healthcare system because
I
it's
just
all
said
a
I'm
lie.
not. You just said your
Okay.
daughter is a registered nurse. Like that was supposed to be a flex. And it's not.
Well, I'm not trying to
Well, what?
flex.
Let's
I'm not
go.
trying to flex. I'm just trying
That's
to
how it came
say
off.
that,
Okay,
look,
let
we
let
are
me.
all indoctrinated. We all believe their stuff for hundreds of years. Sky Watcher, you are the truth. Nobody can debate you on here. Nobody. That's why when I came on here, I was quiet. Because y'all actually know what y'all talking about. So don't debate. Trust me. Don't lose your energy on these other people. You're in the 5D realm and they're in the 3D. There's no connection with them. Do you understand me, Sky? There's no connection. No matter what you say, it's no connection. They're on a lower frequency than you. You know that. You know that, right, Sky?
Yeah, I know. I'm fully aware, but it's the way that I speak is I'm trying to paint the picture because
You can't paint the picture to somebody that's
I
in
can
3D. You
I can
cannot
that
paint.
okay, but
You
I can paint
can't.
the okay. I
You
can
can't.
paint the okay. Can you just let me respond back to what you said to me because I can paint the picture, but it's up to them to do the research and for them to accept what's being said. Remember, in every conversation, you have to be a vibrational match for what's being discussed. If I spit the truth and present the facts, that's up to them to accept it within themselves or to go do the research. I can paint the picture all day long, and I have. You see what I'm saying? It's up to them to do the rest from there. And I just wanted to go back to the original thing. There is no way that we can fully be for our people while contributing to our own genocide and our own destruction. I don't care how you spin it. I don't care what occupation it is. If it was built off of your genocide, you're contributing to the system that's systematically oppressing you and oppressing you on a cellular level. That's just a fact though. Cellular
You're
oppression is done
absolutely
through
right.
molecular gastronomy.
That's why I'm
Yeah.
telling you,
Yep,
don't
just like
argue with
just
these
like
people that's on lower frequency. They're never going to see it. They're never going to see it. Save your energy, please, because you're doing good things. Like, I'm learning so much. Okay? That's all I got to say.
All
You're
right, I want to.
fabulous.
I just wanted to
Well,
say, just like how these people build fast food restaurants and our people choose to lower their frequency and go get that because that's what is being displayed. Just like that's what we're doing too. We're displaying the fact that they don't have to do any of that and they can take this route instead by just learning about themselves. We're not pointing them to no God. We're not pointing them to no
you can
nothing else.
walk
We're not pointing them
outside
to.
and
We're pointing them to.
get your frequency lowered. You can walk outside and literally get your frequency lowered.
If you choose, if that
No,
depends
no, no,
on you
no. It's
though.
not a choice.
Yeah, it's a choice.
No, when
Nothing
you
can
walk
affect you.
outside, when you
Nothing
walk
can.
outside in
I'm
the
not gonna speak over
environment,
you, brother. You see what I'm saying?
when you walk
I respect
outside
you.
in
I'm
the
not gonna. I'm
environment,
not gonna. Right. I'm not gonna speak over you, but I'm just saying that nothing can affect you unless you allow it. You see what I'm saying? It's all a mental thing. That's why the war is not in the. It's in the heaven.
Yeah, you can't call yourself a divine being and then say something this primitive and low vibrational can affect you. That don't even make any sense. We from the cosmos. You feel what I'm saying? So how can we be from the sun and the cosmos and something as simple as walking outside affects us? But I do want to move on to Morgan because I think she's been wanting to talk. Go ahead, Morgan.
I mean, you pretty much just said it. Like, we bring the light wherever we go. So all that small talk is nothing. We can affect any room, any situation for the greater good. We could change any negative vibration and transmute the energy in the room. So once you vibrate to that level, that low kind of dialogue don't bother you because you know how you affect and move the room. You know how you can make somebody's day by speaking light into them. You know what I mean? So whether you work low or high, it doesn't matter. If I'm in a crack house, I could bring somebody up with me. It don't matter if I'm down in the reception of hell. I could bring somebody up with me. We've got work to do wherever we go. Remember that.
If we understood energy, then we wouldn't be in that room. We wouldn't be there needing to be lifted up if we properly understood energy. of our people come
Because I
to
feel
knowledge
like
of
some of
thyself.
us have trauma that you can't just walk in a
Hold,
room and
hey, hold on. Skywatcher was talking.
Once more of our people come into knowledge of thyself, there is no working jobs. Once so-called black women come off of the jobs, the system will fall immediately. That's why I don't work. I'm not gonna work for an animal, a YT man that just came out of the cave 6,000 years ago. What sense does that make? If I know that I'm a divine being and I understand energy and I can manipulate energy with just understanding frequency, what is the point of working when I'm the currency?
And that's
That's
exactly why I started to follow you, because I seen that video that you made, Skywatcher. So I think that's how I'm on the live. But yeah, I agree with that totally.
Yeah, and the second
gratitude.
Skywalker, I recently quit my job and I'm not never going back to work again. It's time for us to get creative. Stop
Abundance,
being fucking.
abundance, my brother.
I'm never going to work again. So it is what it is from now on. I'm telling y'all, it's up.
For real, you really, when you understand that you're the currency, and I mean, this is what I be trying to tell my people. It's not about belief. If you think manifestation is about belief, you're never going to manifest the life that you want. It's all about knowing, like how he said, I'm never going back to work. I can feel his energy. He knows that he's not going back. Number one, he knows and understands genetics, and he understands the plane that he's on, and he understands the eukaryotic cell. Why would you need to work for that when they're harvesting your energy? So when they tell you that you're on at 9 a.m. and off at 5, treating you like a light switch because your energy is running this entire matrix, when you understand that, you come off the job immediately. You see what I'm saying? And I didn't, you know what I'm saying? And it took time. I don't want anybody to think that I didn't quit. No, it took time for me to understand energy and how to actually know and move off of knowing and not belief. For the longest, I was moving off of belief and I couldn't manifest what I wanted. But I had to know and affirm and walk in my truth every single day, whether I seen it in the physical or not, because I understand energy. I understand the spirit realm. So I understand that things manifest there first. But
Abundance.
Abundance.
Go ahead, Alex.
Yo, what's good, man? Yo.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So say where did they come from? The white people?
Nah, everybody outside of the so-called black species.
Wait, say that again. What?
Everybody outside of so-called black people, where did they come from?
Oh, well, they come from the black. I mean, not the black woman, the melanated woman. That's where
And
we
how
came from.
so?
You saw what?
How so?
How so? Fuck. Shit from my dad.
Huh?
From my dad.
No, I'm saying everybody outside of so-called black people, not you. I'm saying, where did everybody outside of so-called black people come from?
Oh, they lab made them. They lab made in the lab.
Okay.
From animals.
All right. Do you know how that process happened?
Shit. I don't know too much, but I know there was
Okay.
Yakub created them so they can destroy us, the white folks and shit.
Can I just go back to something that you said, moderator, right now? When you said people are, you automatically supposed to know you supposed to walk in the light and you're the higher being. But if you came from trauma, how are you supposed to know that?
You didn't come from trauma, though.
But
You
if you,
came from the portal of the so-called.
no. If you came from trauma, I'm talking about family trauma. If you was given up, putting in the foster system, getting molested, whatever, trauma from your own
Before the
family.
physical, where did you come from, sister?
I came from the portal of my mother.
Right. And
Bloodline.
before you entered that portal, what was you?
I don't know. Do you know?
Well, I feel like you should go find that out because you're saying that you came from trauma. That's not true. We don't come from trauma.
Okay,
That's
so
new.
what
We've been
I'm
on the planet
saying,
for a very long
when
time.
I
You know
came
what I'm
into
saying?
this earth, I entered trauma. Don't you enter trauma when they slap you and put the light on
Mm-hmm.
you and all of that? Isn't that
Trauma passed
trauma?
down.
Yeah, okay.
Isn't
But
that trauma to us
you
as
can
spiritual beings
yeah,
coming
we
into
all
the
have
earth?
trauma. Yeah. But the thing is, we can grow from that. Why are we focused on trauma?
Thing is, you
No, I'm
can't.
not.
Hold on,
I
mother
don't want to
life.
be
Hold on, mother
focused
life.
on
Hold on, hold
trauma.
on, mother. Hold on, mother.
I
Hold
don't.
on.
I don't
Hold
want to
on,
be
mother.
focused
Hold
on
on, mother.
trauma.
Hold on. I'm trying to answer your question for you, mother. You chose to come here. That's what we don't understand about the spiritual is that all these events that you're going through, you chose. What is the soul? Is it not all knowing? You knew to come here because there was something that your soul needed to evolve. So that's what the brother is saying. You got to explore that. You got to know what is the mitochondria? Where is that stemming from? From what cell? That's connected to an entire species outside of this planet. That's what you got to know. So everything about your suit is divinely and designed for you to endure what you're doing on this planet. It's nothing by mistake. You're the creator of reality, and you are the creator of all organic life.
Yeah, so you can go ahead and respond, Miss Jones, if you would like. But yeah, as grown folks, we need to quit focusing on past trauma. I see some people trying to say we got trauma built up from slavery. We're why are we focusing on that? Why are we not focused on growing? Because if
Talking
we're
about slavery. I'm
yeah,
talking
I'm not
about
saying
what
that's what
your
you were saying. I was just
parents.
saying some people say that.
No, I'm not talking about slavery because I know that didn't
Yeah, I
happen.
got you.
I'm just talking about your mother and your father, whatever. That immediate. Why did I choose that? Why did I
That
choose to
you gotta
give
go
birth
inside of
up
yourself
at
and you gotta
6
ask
years
yourself
old?
that.
You didn't just choose this lifetime.
The shadow work.
You've been here so many times. Even if like I don't have any children right now, but do you know how many times I've given birth as the mother of life? Do you understand? That's why I was explaining to the sister. We are just reflections and we keep replicating from immortal cells. That cell just copies. It just gets passed down through the mitochondria. So these the life that you chose, it's up to you to evolve from it. That's the creation.
Wow.
I can't answer why you chose that specific thing, but according to the cosmos, according to quantum science, according to the soul, you chose everything about your life.
Wow. This is crazy. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, I'd suggest like if you want to know, like you got that's something you gotta go inside yourself and find out. Like I can't tell you that. Nobody up here can tell you that. But
Abundance to the chat and to the panel. I've been up here all day. I'm gonna leave. Abundance.
abundance.
Abundance and gratitude.
Morgan, did you have something you wanna say?
I mean, I'm just listening. It sounds like it's different levels in the room. I mean, sound like she went through some things like we all have trauma, and she's just at a place like she need that each one teach one, you know? And this is a good time to extend grace to people and help them come to the understanding of themselves, the process, and all kind of stuff. A better diet. Like, you don't necessarily want to be nasty or hostile to people in this place because you can lose them. They're at a crossroad in they self in their life. They don't understand. This is new. This is too much. You don't want to push them off the edge. Bring them to grace. Bring them to the light. So just be careful with that. You know what I mean? It can come off a little aggressive, everybody. Like, remember, you want to save souls, not like run them away. You want to help them understand the process they're going through so they can master themselves. That's it.
All right, abundance. Rico, you got anything you want to say?
Just on the traumas, like when you're not supposed to stick with those traumas, you take those traumas on so you can heal from them, learn from them, and you can accelerate to a positive energy with that trauma. You see what I'm saying? So this comes with the healing process, like what some people call shadow work, where really that's just accepting things that happen to you, turning the energy and transforming the energy into something positive. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I can make that a little clearer for you. So don't never sit in your traumas and keep holding on to them. Just realize you got them, realize what happened, sit into it, realize how it affected you, let it go. Forgive yourself, forgive the person, and keep it moving.
Oh, definitely abundance. Lady V, you got anything you want to say?
Yeah, I just wanted to piggyback off of what Rico said too. I believe like doing your shadow work and different things of that sort will help heal the bloodline trauma, because sometimes we are born into trauma, and it takes yourself to just kind of heal and do the inner work to heal your bloodline. And I do believe healing your bloodline and doing the inner work and your shadow work, you'll be able to generate new seeds and a better, bloodline from there on out with the kids and everything else.
Abundance.
Yep.
Alex, you got anything you want to say?
Yo, I got a question, bro. How the fuck did the first black person get on in this world if there was no niggas on this planet?
I would urge you to dive within the prokaryotic cell.
Appreciate it.
No problem. Miss Jonesy, you got anything you want to say?
Thank you for the feedback. And I know the work that I have to do. Thank you, guys.
Well, love and
No.
light to you.
Abundance.
Thank you.
And abundance and gratitude for the chat. I'm finna go ahead and end this
Y'all
live.
amazing.
It
Y'all the
was
best.
nice meeting all y'all.
Yeah,
Talking to
y'all
y'all,
amazing.
exchanging thoughts. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Gratitude, abundance.
Gratitude.
Sky, you,
Gratitude and abundance.
yeah, y'all amazing.
Yeah, shout out
Love
Skywatcher. Shout out my brother Denzel. Appreciate y'all
Nice
for
meeting
coming up
y'all.
here. Appreciate y'all. Nice meeting you too.
You could be my daughter, Sky.
Hugs.
How old are you?